I saw The Flash. I got tickets to a pre-screening.
I already like know what you're kind of gonna say,
we all
but
kind of looked at you like
what? Yeah, because it hasn't come out as of this recording. They're doing a lot of pre-screenings all over the place, and I follow this comic book shop down the street on Facebook, and randomly I just signed in, and they were like, "Do you want to go to a free screening? Sign up here." And so I did it and showed up. Really good experience. I thought I wasn't gonna get into the theater at first because it was like a first come first serve. They overbooked it. It was a pre-screening for press, and they wanted to fill the whole theater up because they didn't just want like 2 people in there or whatever, you know. So I showed up later than I wanted to. Didn't know if I was gonna get into the theater or not. They ended up having 1 seat in the nice like fancy luxury chairs, so I got a legit seat. It was great.
Crap.
Situation was all good, guys. It's a pretty mid movie.
I was about to be like, this was not what you told me. The way you said that,
guys.
You set that up so perfectly. Like, and it was a great thing. But
Can you give us like spoiler-free reasons why it's pretty mid?
So I'm, to start off with, not a big Ezra Miller fan.
Okay.
So it's kind of the same issue I had with the new Fast and Furious movie, where it had too much of the main character in it for me. Like Vin Diesel, I didn't love Vin Diesel in the new Fast X movie. There was too much of him. I kind of felt the same way about this one. I'm not a big fan of Ezra Miller. There was high expectations going in the way that they're marketing it, and I think it's 100% just to get people to go into it because it's not bad. It's actually probably one of the better DC movies. But that's not saying a lot, you know what I mean? Banks very heavily on nostalgia with the Michael Keaton thing, which, again, I'm not like the super fan of Michael Keaton, so that was kind of like whatever, this is
the
fine.
reveal happens, and you're like, oh,
yeah, and it's so marketed towards him that it's not really a reveal to begin with. You're kind of watching the whole movie just kind of waiting for him to show up, you know? Mm-hmm. And then it all kind of devolves into the third act CGI punch them up, just like every other superhero movie does.
They keep releasing so many clips on Twitter from what I assume is that third act battle where there's kind of like in a desert or something like that, and it just seems so lifeless.
It is. That's exactly what I thought. It was just this empty desert. And I'm just like, this isn't really visually interesting at all. It's just a big CGI empty desert. And I feel like it's still so reactionary after the Man of Steel came out and everybody freaked out about the amount of people that would have died in Man of Steel. And I feel like DC and everyone is still kind of like really scared to do anything because of the backlash half of that, which is just kind of sad to me.
So they fight in a desert.
Yeah, and it's pulling from one of the best, like, you know, where it all started, and so it's like a callback to this big thing that you love, and it's just not quite done as well. You know what I mean? It was good. It was fine. There's a lot of heart to it, which is really nice. There is a lot of character focus for the Flash himself, which I really liked, but the overdependence on not great special effects just doesn't do it for me anymore. I just feel like most of these superhero movies I've kind of seen already. And I've seen Flashpoint, the cartoon. I haven't read the novel, but I honestly would just kind of rather watch the cartoon over again than see this one again. I don't know. Check it out. I'd love to have a broader discussion about the multiverse with you guys, especially after watching this one, and then The Flash is all about the multiverse too, and Marvel is like really deep into the multiverse right now. So eventually we need to have like a, what do we actually want from the multiverse, and is the multiverse delivering conversation?
If there's a bagel.
I'm just mostly feeling like it's the multiverse of sadness these days, to be honest with you. Like, that's how I feel.
That's a good one, Chris.
I don't know what to say. That's how I feel about it. It's just kind of like,
yeah.
Another
and maybe
movie.
this is a conversation that we'll get into with Across the Spider-Verse because of how well they did the multiverse in this one. So we'll see how this conversation goes, and if not, then maybe after The Flash comes out and we've all seen it, we can kind of compare and contrast like who's doing it good, who's kind of just doing multiverse for nostalgia's sake to get butts in theaters, and who's actually like using the multiverse in an interesting way instead of a marketing way, if that makes sense.
Excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
that's what I felt like Keaton was in this. It wasn't they could have used any multiverse Batman, but they needed someone to put butts in seats. So they're like, we have to have Michael Keaton come in because no one's going to show up if we don't.
We should have got nipple suit Batman.
That would be something.
Was that Clooney?
That's Clooney's Batman.
I think Kilmer might have had. No, was it just? No, you're right.
I don't remember.
I think it was
Clooney
Clooney.
did.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of like, that was always funny to me, was the nipple suit Batman. I don't know.